Good evening, everybody. Afternoon, depending on where you are. Morning, maybe even. As you might have noticed, Jog's put on the what's the word? Header, I suppose, for today's stream. It appears that he is going to be escaping tomorrow, so he'll be coming home. Probably not until sort of this time tomorrow, but I imagine he'll be more than happy to pick up the stream where he left off. So it's all good. They're going to sort out some support for him next week, which by the sounds of it means someone's going to come round, so I'm going to have to do a bit of tidying up, which is probably my least favourite thing to do in the world, to be honest. I don't mind tidying. I can't be doing brushing and all that stuff. It hurts. I'm not made for it anymore. So, and my hoover's crap, and my floor is laminate, and I'm not supposed to use a steam mop on it, though I do, because it's a damn sight easier than mopping it in a normal fashion, or getting down on my hands and knees and using those floor wipes to do it. Because, I'm not doing that either. So, yeah, I'm not a massive fan of housework. Like I say, I don't mind tidying up, getting everything back into the right room, and so on and so forth. But, yeah, cleaning is not fun for me anymore. Oh, God, sorry, I seem to do nothing but yawn on this stream. Doesn't matter what time of day it is. I sort of managed to get a better night's sleep last night. I woke up a couple of times, and then I woke up at about 3 o'clock, walking up the stairs with some toast that I'd made for Yog, before I got to the middle of the stairs and realised that Yog wasn't here, and therefore would not want toast. Or might have wanted toast, but certainly wasn't going to be able to get the toast that I had made for him. And because Yog doesn't like his toast to be very toasted, I'd made it like that. But I like my toast to be really toasted. So I didn't even want to eat it for myself because, it wasn't good toast for me. So, fuck only knows where that came from. I must have been having some sort of wild and wonderful dream. Because it's not often that Yog asks me to go and make some toast at 3 o'clock in the morning. It has happened. But, he has asked me that before now. But no, not this morning. So I was awake then. I think I woke up again early doors. Like sort of 6 o'clock-ish. And then went back to sleep until about 9:30, 10. Still having massive troubles trying to work out what pills or combinations of pills I can take to try and get me to sleep. I don't mind so much if I go to sleep and then wake up. I can cope with that better. It's just not being able to go to sleep at all that's problematic. I'm not good generally at just getting out of the bed and going to do something else and turning my mind off. I have been practicing that this last week and a bit. So I'll get up and I'll go and make myself a hot drink. Or a little bit of soup or something like that, and then going to watch something on telly for half an hour for an episode's worth. Oh God, I'm really bad. This is the reason I'm starting early today, because I'm very tired. I've been trying to do that a bit more, get up and go and do something else to reset me. My psychologist did recommend that I stay up until I feel ready to go to actual sleep, which I didn't really try last night. I went to bed later than I normally would, but I didn't go when I was feeling properly tired. Maybe I should go now. So I didn't feel properly tired, so I might try and stay up tonight. I don't know. When Yog's here, I don't like getting out of the bed because it disturbs him, and his sleep's never great either. So I don't want to disturb him by getting up and down all the time. I mean, I talk in my sleep anyway, so that's enough to wake him up at times. So yeah, I don't tend to do it when he's here, but I thought I'll give it a whirl while he's not. And it's seeming to work. I just have to be careful because the meds that I've decided to take that seem to work okay-ish on my sleep are not a combination that's been okayed by the doctor, and it gives me proper Bambi legs. So going up and down the stairs with gangly legs is a bit treacherous. I mean, if they're really bad, I'd just bump down on my ass, but I'm not above sliding down the stairs. It's I think sometimes it's getting back up again that's the main thing, though. I could do that on my hands and knees, I suppose. Anyway, I'd find a way. If push come to shove it, I could just go to sleep on the sofa. It's no big deal. But that's the thing I don't want to do with staying up so late until I'm tired. I don't want to fall asleep on the sofa because it's not long enough for me to spread out properly. And the only respite I get from my pain really at the moment is when I'm laid flat. So there are rhymes and reasons for me being in bed for a while before I go to sleep because it hurts less. So it's, I don't know. There's no way to win, is there really? I'd just love to have some sleep that was uninterrupted, unalarmed, everything. So I could just sleep until my body's ready to start again. But doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime in the future. But there's worse things, I suppose. It's at least I'm not where Yog is listening to people. I don't know. From what he said, there's some pretty racist people in there, and some quite loud gentlemen as well that are prone to argumentation. From what he said, and he's having to listen to that when he really wants to say something to them. Obviously, it's not his fight to have at the moment, and we don't know what's wrong with these people anyway. So it's difficult to make a judgment. So he's keeping himself to himself whilst he's there and just cracking on like that, which I think is the sensible thing to do. There's no point getting involved in someone else's drama. Yeah, there's no point really in doing that. But I get where he's coming from. I'd want to say something too if I heard someone coming out with the racist comments. And from what Yog said, and I am reading between the lines a little bit, it's not that it's just a rambling of racism. It's actually directed at some of the staff, which is bang out of line, which is obviously why Yog wants to say something. But like I said, it's not his fight to have at the moment. He needs to just be getting better. So we will see what we will see. Yeah, I've just had to put Yog a list together of all the stuff he needs to remember to bring, because we have been taking stuff into him every single time we've gone to visit. So, I mean, he's got half our house there, to be fair. His entire wardrobe's there, near enough. He's got my duvet. He's got all his chargers and Steam Deck and all the rest of it to collect. And shoes and toiletries and yeah, loads of stuff basically. So there's going to be a few trips out to the car and we go and fetch him tomorrow, I think. There will be 3 of us though, so we might be able to manage it in one go. We'll just have to see. So, but yeah, I'm excited to have him home. I feel like I've been in limbo for this last 10 days. I just feel like I've either not got out of it or that I've been in a car 24/7 or making phone calls about Yog and about me and trying to sort stuff out with my doctors. And then I had to speak to my work today because I am off tomorrow, next week, but I want to be there for Yog when he's getting this assistance and all the rest of it. So I've phoned my work today and booked off the week after as well, because I want to be there so that I can understand what's happening too. And between me and Jog, then we've got a fairly decent chance of actually remembering what's been said. So yeah, we'll go from there. So it's just a bit of a, I mean, tomorrow it's going to be a fairly quickish trip, hopefully. I don't know, it's one of those stick your finger in the air jobbers and see if you can find out, but yeah, it will be nice to have him back. I think he'll probably come straight up here and, I don't know, give his computer a cuddle, I suppose. It's I said second to me. I think it's definitely the thing he's missed most. Missing you guys as well. So yeah, I think he just needs to get back on here. I know he's been able to talk to you guys on Discord and that as well, which is good. And I know he's been able to get some gaming done on the Steam Deck. The only problem ended up with that was my dad had offered to lend John, or did lend John a wireless keyboard. It didn't have the dongle stuck in it. It was loose in a bag. And Yog thinks that when they've searched the bag to make sure there's nothing that they can't have, that they've lost the dongle. So he's not been able to attach the keyboard to the Steam Deck, which I think has put him off a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, he's been out playing pool and there's a few things that they can do there. So he's been doing that a bit. I'm not sure if he's playing with another one of the patients or with a member of staff. I'm not sure. He did say most of the others on the ward were alright. They were just, he thinks probably they're more for a reason than him. So, yeah, there is that. So, I don't really know what else much more to say, to be honest. Hopefully this chapter will come to a close. We'll get Yog back onto his ADHD medication or a different one or whatever. Get him back to feeling like he was. And go from there. So, I don't know. It's one of them. I think it's I don't know. I mean, with him being on the ADHD medication and some of the other meds that he's got, there's no reason, if they work, why he should feel bad again. But I get it, because sometimes my medication doesn't seem to work either. And I end up with a myriad of issues. Like at the moment, I need to try and lose some weight, and my pills make it very hard for me to do that. So I'm trying to come off some of them in order to, be able to give myself a fighting chance to lose some weight. But because my sleep issue happened so soon after we dropped the dosage, the psychiatrist has put it right back up again, thinking that might help me sleep, but it doesn't. The only way I've found it is if I combine it, like I said before, with another med that is potentially there to make me relax and or sleep. If I combine the two of them together, then it's not so bad. I will go to sleep eventually. I think there's times where I've actually taken... So basically, it's something called olanzapine, which I've gone back up for 5 milligrams that I was on 15, and it's diazepam. It's only a 2 milligram dose, but just taking one of them at the moment makes me more sleepy, but not enough to go to sleep. But if I take 2, then that helps. That keeps me asleep until, well, I'd say, the middle of the night, in which case I'm still a bit, ropey then, but I tend to go back off to sleep again after that. I don't tend to lie around for too long. Or if I do, I just do the get up and go drink a hot drink or something again. So there's that. Plus I've got a hacking nighttime cough at the moment, which isn't helping. I mean, it's not terrible, but it could be worse. But it's one of those. I say that far too regularly. I listen to a lot of people on YouTube, and you notice people have got like these key little phrases that they use all the time. Apart from one guy who's just mesmerizingly weird. He's got a complete mishmash of like topics on his channel, and he's just amusingly odd. He laughs at his own jokes quite a lot, which is quite funny in its of itself. But he does things from like allotments and fruit trees and things like that, to telescopes, to covering volcanic eruptions, which is the eruptions that I was watching him for. But he's a very strange one. I've not noticed particularly him using any phrases over and over, but he's just, like I say, mesmerisingly odd. I have to watch his videos just to see what he's going to say that's weird. I don't even know if he has any idea what he's talking about. But yeah, he's odd. And then I watch another woman who feeds foxes, wild foxes. And they're all very cute, and she's lovely. I even sent her a hat down once because she stands out in the cold feeding them. So I was like, right, I'll send her a hat. So I sent her a woolly hat with a picture of a fox on it, which she's had on a few times I've seen in her videos. So I think she likes it. But she's great. But she has certain little catchphrases and things like that. But yeah, she's good. She's got a good rapport with the foxes. She did have one, unfortunately died last year. Oh, she was such a beautiful fox. She had some form of lungworm, which they couldn't get treatment into her in time, and it had destroyed her lungs by the time they actually managed to capture her and see if they could treat her. But she would come into the porch and she would be hand fed, and she would enjoy strokes. So she let the lady stroke her, so they had an amazing bond. And there's 2 other foxes that will let her hand feed them, but don't come into the porch. There's another one who's been around for a while who will come into the garden whilst she's sat out and get food. And then she's had 3 cubs, one of which will come into the garden. Well, 2 of them will come into the garden. One's more wary than the other, but they're both still pretty wary. The 3rd one will only come in when she's not there, when the door's shut and all the rest of it. Usually with the light off too. She'll only come into the garden then. But like I say, they're all less than a year old, so chances are they will become braver and hopefully start to come in and not be bothered by the woman that feeds them. So there you go. Right, guys, I'm knackered. I'm talking crap, and I don't think there's anybody here anyway. So, if there is anyone if there is anyone lurking, then I wish you a good afternoon or evening, whichever you prefer this time of day. And I will probably not see you all tomorrow. It'll be Yog instead. But I'm always here, so you can't get rid of me that easily. So yes, I'm sure you'll hear from me again. Probably steal the computer when Yog goes to the loo. But there we go, we will see. Right, take care of yourselves. Have a good evening.